And we're live. And we're about to run Taserface, the Frown King, with the Hemera bolted on it. And it should be pretty good. Hardware wise, it should be good. Let me see. Audio, is my audio good? Test. Speakers. I'm using the mic. It keeps defaulting to that mic on the actual camera now. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But we want that mic. Is that working right, I hope? What is up, Vince? Actually, I'm not in the dark. It's just bleaching out because of the window. It's actually very bright in here because the window's open. But you can see the Frown King is running. Thank you, Mr. Chris. Whatever his last name is, again, I can't remember. It's a W something. I'm thinking it's Polish because it's a ski or worse. I can't remember. Your daily wow, Tom. Your daily Micron dude. He's actually going to come on. He's taking a shower because he was out shoveling snow. But he's going to be on here. So I'm going to wait. Yeah, Wakorki, something like that. I knew it was that. I just didn't know exactly how to spell it and how to pronounce it because, as you guys all know well, I can't pronounce crap even when I do know how to pronounce it. Oh, crap. I wonder if I kick on some more background light. Actually, no, that just actually made me darker, huh? What's up, Viking? You want to jump in? Anybody want to jump in? You're more than welcome to. Hop on in. I got to get the view on YouTube. I got to get the YouTube chat because the StreamYard's chat's right behind. And I got to turn off my own speakers. And pop out chat. Pop out chat. And then I can get rid of this here window and bring this here chat thing over. And we're good. So I guess I need to close this here curtain thing of a blanket. Yeah, brightened it all back up. Because it actually darkened the room, so now the white balance counterproductively whatever actually started working. Oh, it lost focus. What's that focus on? I think it's focusing on the mic, isn't it? And it just probably got very loud for you guys. Sorry about that if you're wearing headphones. I'm trying to get it to focus on the printer, and it's not. If I roll back here, does it focus on me back here? It's focused on me, all right. And I'm right next to the damn thing. Anyway, we'll probably bring the camera over there. Yeah, what are you doing? Moving in with your girlfriend, or are you just plain moving? You moving? Or you moving in? And is it going to be a bigger place? Are you going to have room to not have bathroom printers? Bathroom printers are just not good, man. They're just not good. So on a completely different note, this whole flu thing, that's going around, and not necessarily the coronavirus. What's up, Mike? Has got this area in a complete uproar. My neighbor works for. What's wrong with bathroom printers? They just don't. Everything belongs in the bathroom but the printer. There's something about pea splattered filament. That's nasty. Anyway, we'll stop that subject right there. The whole flu thing's got everything in an uproar in this area, and not the coronavirus, just regular everyday flu. There's people like dropping dead from it and everything. And my father's in a rehab / retirement / whatever you want to call it. They try and rebrand it so it doesn't sound like a rehab. Everyone thinks he's in for drugs if it's a rehab. He's rehab physically, not he got sick and didn't walk and blah blah blah. Anyway, my neighbor works for a different one 5 miles up the road. They're all in lockdown. You have to I walk in the door, they take my temperature. I have to put a mask on. I have to use hand sanitizer. I go into his room. If I touch anything in his room, I have to use hand sanitizer. They won't let you in before 9 o'clock in the morning, and after 8 or 5 o'clock at night, you can't get in. Oh my God, what a nightmare. So instead of hanging out with my father because I usually go hang out with my father 3 times a day. I go with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I go and I hang out with him and, just make him not feel left. And that hasn't happened in the last 3 days. Okay, shower filament. Filament soap? Ooh, can we make a soap filament so you can print your soap? There's an idea. Someone should make soap filament so you can print out little things and then, wash yourself with it. Yeah, well, that's just it. It's mostly the schools are all in lockdown. The schools are still in. Although a lot of towns are out this week because it's winter vacation. But the ones that are in, I don't think this town is. I think we're closed this week. I haven't seen a school bus all week, so I think we're closed this week. Yeah, it always does, but it's really bad right here. Where my father is right now, there's 12 employees out, and I think there's 6 or 7 of the inmates, I call them. My father keeps saying he's in jail, so I call everybody inmates. The inmates there's 5 or 6 of them sick, and they're not that bad, but like you say, it's the elderly are more susceptible to having actual issues from just beyond a sniffle and a sore throat. It can actually do damage, especially they're all in there from being sick. I mean, there's a bunch of them in there with air units and blood freaking transfusion units, and there's a whole bunch of rooms that are completely locked down, and they got signs on them and tape, and you can't go in there. And yeah, it does here too, but it's really, really bad. In the last 2 weeks, it's gotten super, super bad. Everyone's freaking out, but it is what it is. I should probably keep Twitter up because Mr. Warcocky could be trying to get in here, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted Twit and trying to email me or text me, although I sent him the link. Freaking Amy Double D pops right up in her first thing I see on her with her what do you call it? Lego dress, I guess you'd call it. She is a one of a kind, that is for sure. Yeah, we're actually kind of toward the end of the cold and flu season. It usually starts earlier, doesn't it? Yeah, it's usually over by mid-February. You only got another week of February. A little over 10 days. It's 2/3 over, basically. What's up, Red Light? I can't believe all you guys popped in when I just started a stream instantaneously. Did who get your text? I'm guessing not me. Yeah, but it's usually not as bad. I get allergies and stuff where I've broken my nose so many times and I've had it all rebuilt. I usually get it really, really bad. Like, I'll get what they think is a flu and it's not. It's just usually a nasal infection. Almost every year I get a nasal infection, like beginning of April, when the pollen really hits this area hard. Beginning mid-April, depending on probably going to be early this year because it hasn't been cold enough. I mean, there's stuff growing out there now. There's flowers growing. Freaking February, and there's flowers popping out of the ground. Yeah, I know. It was a joke, Ridley. It was a joke. Anyway, where's the showered, bald and bearded man? I was going to wait for him to fire it up. Now, I did actually test it already, and it compiled, and I loaded it on, it loaded right up, and there was a whole bunch of stuff wrong with it, which isn't his fault. I sent him incorrect information. Incorrect information. And I'm thinking that firmware I saved was not the actual firmware I ever loaded. I think I downloaded 1.9 when it came out because I loaded this with 1.9 because 1.9 came out right when I built this originally and got it from Glenn. I think I edited it and saved it, but never loaded it. And then, like a week later, I loaded it. Loaded it. Reading the chat at the same time while I'm trying to talk, and I lost total control of my thoughts. It's called Getting Old. Yeah. I loaded it on there, and then I know I edited it. So I have a feeling that was before I edited it, and then I never backed it up or saved it after I edited it to work. So I think what I sent him was actually, I mean, generally it was there. It's like motors were going the wrong direction, and with the sizes and shapes, and you know, it's so funny. I keep bitching I don't understand firmware. I get the firmware, like editing Marlin. I get it. I know how to do it. I usually get it right. It's the actual compiling. It's the compilers that need all this crap in the background that always screws up on me. The basic, setting up the config file and the config advanced, I never have a problem with that. It's getting it to actually compile afterwards. Kokomo. Way down to Kokomo. I would love to go down to Florida right now. It's actually cold out today. Even cold. I was out raking leaves yesterday in 55-degree weather, which is like unheard of. I got my lawn's clean. It's never clean this early. I got almost all the leaves up. I can almost mow the lawn. It's actually grass growing. What is up, 3D printing German nerd dude? Haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, the weather's been like fantastic. This has been the warmest winter I can ever remember, and I'm old. Which, global warming, the whole world's going to die. Yep. I agree with a lot of that. But I'm not minding this warm winter at all. It's actually cold today, and it's not even that cold. It's above freezing. It's just breezy and cold. It's breezy. Breezical. Just the mustache out of the scarf. He keeps messing with me, and then he's going to come in here and then not coming. Anyway, back on topic. So, Don. Yeah, not by much. What do you got? Actually, you got like 10 years on me. You're in your mid-60s, right? Or you're just 60. So you got 5 years on me. You're not that much older than I am. I know that. Gotta get my fingers working. 63. So you don't even have 10 years on me. Not even. Right now you have 9 years on me. And in 2 weeks you'll have 8 years on me. Not even 2 weeks. I don't know. My birthday's coming up soon. Sometime soon. Not important. Too old to care anymore. It is what it is. Yeah. Funny, a lot of people that are 10 years younger than me look 20 years older. Anyway. So it's running. We're just waiting for him. I want him to come on and see it the first time it moves and homes. And everything should work. I can't see why it doesn't. It won't. Oh, I got to hook up some filament. It's going to need some filament because it's going to print. The first thing it's going to print is this here. You really can't see it in the camera, but this here Z-stop arm. There's a little arm right here that comes out and holds the Z-stop. So this little, which you also can't see, I have an adjuster right here. I don't know if you can sort of see it on the camera. There's a little adjuster there so I can fine tune the Z height without playing with the bed, which I do on all my printers. I don't know why every printer in the world doesn't have that. I don't get why every time you adjust your height, you got to do all 4 screws. Why? Just put a freaking screw on the end stop. Boom, done. Then you flatten, tram your bed, and you never have to screw with it ever again. You put a different plate on here, get a different thickness. All you do is turn this little screw right here. Readjust it. Everything stays flat. Uh-oh. What are you sending links to there, Mikey? Open link in new tab. Is that something I can live stream?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Ramon. I'd just like to say this gig sucks. Hey, up yours, Springfield.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay then. Hey, it's Terry. What's up, dude? Dude, I'm loving that little thing you're doing. You're really getting into that resin printing, aren't you? It was you that was doing the. I want to say it's like an atom or whatever. It's actually from the movie there, with all the monsters and the chemicals and the. Jesus, my brain is just not working today. I've been running around like a maniac. My brain is just gone. But that had nothing to do with today. That's just normal. My brain's always gone. It's just gone. Yeah, do something on the water pump right away. Well, I was talking, and maybe I can get you in on this. I was chatting last night. Was it last night or the night before last on live stream? And I think it's me and Robbie Mack are going to 3D print a Noctura fan. The T-Virus Resident Evil. There you go. I knew it was one of them. I never really watched. I don't know why. I just never got into the Resident Evil. I didn't get into the game, the movies. I've probably watched every single one of them because you catch them on TV and I'll watch it. I don't have anything against it. It's just never. I don't know. It was just too. They're cool. I watch them for the special effects and the monsters, but the storyline always just seemed freaking stupid to me. Just another zombie movie. It's like The Walking Dead. I stopped watching that like 2 years ago. It just got to be stupid. Yeah, no, I liked what you did with it. That thing looks cool. I mean, that looks like something you like go to the store and buy. You know what I mean? It's like most 3D printed stuff. It's like we're all thinking it's cool, and they're cool and everything, but it's not something you'd see like on a Toys R Us shelf. Not that you'll see anything on a Toys R Us shelf. There is no more Toys R Us. You know what I mean? That looks cool. Really like the dye ones you were doing too. I want to do a Hemera fan for this because I want this fan. I want the 20 millimeter wide fan. I hate the 10 millimeter. They're either loud and push enough air or quiet and don't push enough air. So I want this 20 millimeter thick fan, but I don't want it in freaking ugly brown. And I can get it in black, like on this one. I don't know if you can see it down there. Those are the same thing, but it's a different brand, Sun-On. And I can't get the Sun-Ons right now because, the whole coronavirus. And the few you can get, they're like $35. I'm like, no. I'll deal with the brown for $35. What's up, Edge Tech? Anybody want to jump in here while we're waiting for Chris? Come on in. Hang out. I was hoping Chris would be in here by now. I was kind of waiting for him. I wasn't going to do anything until he got here. I do have to get filament, though. So I can get that all ready, because I'm going to have to put some kind of tube on there to pull the filament in. Oh, crap. I am going to have to make a bright orange filamenty holder thing. Because my red one goes with my red printer, and my purple one goes with my purple printer. But I will borrow the red one for now. Let's see, how am I going to run I think I'll just run a piece of, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. What's up, Kevin? how am I going to run the filament into it? Now, I have discovered with the Hemera as a beforehand, everyone calls it a Bowden tube. Bowden's only from, the design of Bowden is only from the extruder to the hot end. It's not a Bowden tube, it's just a PTFE tube if you go from the hot end to the filament. If it's direct drive. But anyways, a reverse Bowden tube, using this sucks because it actually drags a lot more. My Core XY, I converted back to good old fashioned cheapo white with the Hemera because it's not as tight, so it doesn't drag as much. But I think I will use this for this. I will have to cut it. And I will take a piece of filament. I was talking about this with Jim yesterday. When you cut a tube, even with cutters, you should always put a scrap piece of filament in there. That way, it can't crush. Now, these cutters are pretty good about not being bad, but even still, when you cut it, it crushes a little. That'll give you the cleanest, squarest, roundest, perfectest this line of ever. I gotta do both ends because they're both screwed up, aren't they? Yeah. And then you just push out the filament. And then you take this here thing and you just jam it in there. And then I guess I'll just put it right here. And then feed this here filament into it, which I, like a dumbass, just screwed all up. You freaking idiot. Sometimes I'm just an idiot. Okay, most of the time I'm just an idiot. All right, there's Chris. Let's get Chris in here.
Hey.
The dude of the hour.
Yeah. How's the build going?
It's pretty much done. I was just waiting for you to see if it actually moves and everything.
Oh, man, I've got my computer next to me and a pile of junk.
You for the initial movement test, but it all loaded and everything. Just fine.
Nice. So you said the X and Y were backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, I followed whatever thing that you sent, but I think I only opened up the one for Marlin 2.0. So you might not have gotten to that part.
Yeah, I hadn't.
Oh, hey, it's the 3D German nerd and the Brian Vines and Red Light. I have so much junk on my desk.
Now let's see if I can do this while live streaming.
Uh-oh. You do anything you put your mind
I
to
am
it.
using a very old Mac Mini to do all this. Which surprisingly does quite well.
Yeah, it should work just fine for Visual Studio Code.
Yeah, no, but I mean the live streaming and controlling, and now I'm going to open up my Pi with it.
Oh, you're going to break it now. All right.
And why am I getting that? I'm getting a board list fetch failed.
I have no idea.
Huh?
No idea.
Me either.
I'm trying to find my screwdriver. Oh, there it is.
Share.
What am I doing with Ender 5? I am installing a SKR Mini E3.
You just really like them SKRs, huh?
They work. I had a duet on it, a Maestro, and I was like, I don't have the time to learn duet. Like I already am familiar with Marlin, so.
The duet I can handle. That's how easy it is. Put it that way.
I cannot.
I am not the biggest fan of them, though. I'll say that also. I don't hate it. There's stuff I absolutely love about it. But there's stuff I don't like about it that I much prefer the Pi over. and mostly the G-code viewer.
Whew.
My biggest complaint about the Duet is having to use their stupid overpriced piece of crap screen.
Oh, the panel do? Yeah.
Want to be able to buy a $5 2004 LED, plug it in. The only thing I want it for is for, to be able to just glance at it and say everything's running right, my temperatures are good, motors are moving, and to be able to go, holy crap, shut me off. Everyone's like, well, you can do that with a tablet or something. I'm like, yeah, but you gotta open the tablet, load the browser.
Yeah.
And the whole time the motor's going, something. It just no. I want instant freaking off. I want instant control. I want to be able to walk over mechanically.
Yeah, the Maestro, you can set up a 128/64 screen, so the one that you have on your printer back there, that'll work on it.
Yeah, but that's not Wi-Fi. You can't do Wi-Fi with that. That's Ethernet only.
Yeah.
Which that's a pain in the butt in here.
Well, the SKR you can put a little module on for $7, and it's got Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the new one, the 1.4.
Yeah.
The Mini you can't.
I don't think. Yeah, you can't do it on. I mean, you could probably figure out a way to wire it, but.
Well, you could do like Chris Riley did and do the SD card one.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did that. Then he also did the one with the fancy. Connects to the back of the screen.
Yeah.
The backpack.
Which is, from what I understand, is literally the same Wi-Fi unit that the SKR is using. That Big Tree's using. It's just how it's plugged in. The SKR, the new one, has a socket to directly plug it in.
It does.
All right. Let's see if she homes correctly. X and Y. It's going the right direction in the X.
Yay.
Homed in the Y. Let's see if the Z homes. Oh, the other thing that might be a problem? Is there a way to adjust the rise of the bump for homing on Z? Oh, it's working now.
Yeah, I should have those bumps set to 5.
Yeah, I need to make them higher.
Okay. Yeah, you change that.
It actually worked. I had problems with that one before. Where is it? I mean, that's something I can do.
Configuration advanced.
Huh?
It's in the configuration advanced.
All right. I'll find that. That's not a big deal. Seems to be working. Let's heat it up.
Yeah, it's under, let's see, line number. That's one thing. People who actually know Marlin are like, I know the line number. I'm over here like, I can scroll to it.
Okay. Stop sharing screen.
Let's see here. Oh, I can just do a Control F and then do bump.
Oh, as long as I have that ticker going, we can't see our names.
I gave you a bump of 2 millimeters on there.
Yeah, it needs to be more. I had that problem on occasion with it. I built in you can't really see it because it's so far away. I have a fine adjuster for all my ZM stops. I do it with all of my printers.
Nice.
And the problem is the switch that came with the ANET, I'm using the stock ANET switch, is like this really long handle on it.
Yeah,
and it's not lifting it enough. It's super accurate, I found out. Because it's so long, it's finer at the actual switch. But it doesn't lift it enough to lift the alarm every time. It's like right there where sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I've been there.
So
That's why everything on sensorless and probes now. But then if the probe fails, it goes stupid. So
I can control F all day long. I can control F too. Actually, I can't because sometimes they say F all the time anyways. I can't control it. Hey, what's up, 3D printing and painting? So it's all working. It's heating up. Seems to be.
Yeah, it should. You had 11 as the bed thermistor. I set it to 1, which is more common, like for everything in the world.
Yeah, which I have a feeling is wrong.
Yeah.
Because ANET uses, this is the actual ANET bed.
Okay, so it uses their own number 11.
Yeah.
I just did 5 because you said Hemera, and I was like, well, Hemera uses the E3D thermistor, so that's a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a thermal runaway. That's the bed, right?
Failed. Bed printer halted.
Yeah, that's that wrong thermistor.
Yep.
And I probably didn't set your
And by the way, the
PID.
motor works.
Hey guys, I got the safety working. Built directly into Marlin. I just didn't change
We
anything.
checked out thermal runaway on the bed.
Yep. Yeah, so those are two things that I did real quick, and I didn't even check what settings you had. I was like, 11 sounds weird. But then again, it's actually normal. I'm going to go change that in my copy.
Visual Studio Code again.
It's the
I hate
best.
Visual Studio Code.
I'm getting used to it, but I have it set to like hacker font, so I got like bright green and black and yellows. I just started changing the colors. I'm like, cool. I feel like I'm in the Matrix.
Oh, you can set the colors in it?
Something
I heard
like
you
that.
can, like, make it. You know, it's not bad. It's almost, you know what my problem is? It's almost too simple, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's got some neat features. Like if you don't know your board name, if you highlight the board name and right click, you can go right to the boards list and stuff like that. So it's got some neat features that
See, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't know any of it. Like I just watch Chris Riley videos.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And then when I still screw it up, luckily you were around because I was about ready to do the no! And I just send the file off to him, and 24 hours later, he's like, "You're such a dumbass here," and he sends it back to me.
That's
Like it's all fixed now. Try that.
Bed is 11.
Okay, I need to go into. Let's see what the hell do they name it? Command find. What am I looking for? Heater.
Yeah, temp sensor bed.
Oh yeah, bed would be the easiest thing to find, huh? Bed.
Yeah, temp sensor bed in config. So line 418.
Oh Jesus, you even know a line?
I'm on it right now. I'm changing it to mine too because it, that way it's saved. I don't know why I'm saving it, but I already had it open. So.
It's actually 420.
Ooh.
Oh, I changed some because I put both of our names on the
title. Oh, yeah, I didn't even put a name. I just put
that adds lines. What do we got to make? What was it originally?
It should be 11 for the bed.
You had it at 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I also want to go to configuration H, advanced, while I'm here and do the bump thing. Where's that at?
And you might want to also add your PID to your bed because I just left the default PID for the bed, which is probably
that actually usually works. That's what I always left. I just left it.
Okay.
And it always seemed to hold. It's a little slow climbing, but once it got there, it held, even with the fan blowing right on it.
Nice.
I got a PID tune the hot end, but I'm not worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
What am I looking for in advance? Oh, the bump.
Yep.
Is that what they call it?
Zeta 5. Yeah, it's just called the bump. They'll find it for you. There's only 7 things called bump, and I think it's
home bump 5 and Z2. I want to make that at least 5.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually going to make it 7.
And I added quick home for you, so that way it does X and Y at the same time versus X then Y. I added some things that I saw that I like that wouldn't endanger your printer. So.
Not my printer. It's actually Glenn's printer.
Oh, damn it, Glenn.
Well, actually, it's not anymore. We traded.
Oh.
That's how I got this. He wanted I had a camcorder. It's actually the one he uses for live streaming now.
Yeah.
That. It's not cheap. It's not expensive, but it was just, wasn't worth it to him. And he had that thing, and I was, he was doing one of the fun in the country basements one day. And he's like, this frickin' taser face, 8-bit piece of crap. I'm never going to run it again. I'm like, dude, send it to me. He's like, all right. And he sent me a private message and said, dude, I'm not sending it to you. It's like $80 to ship it to you. I said, well, I got this extra camcorder I know you want. We'll just do a trade. He's like, all right. I'll pay the shipping on the camcorder. You pay the shipping on the printer. I'm not going to charge you for the camcorder. You can have it. I get the printer. And I've been rebuilding it ever since. It's been like a year. There's not much left on it that's seen it. Even the case has been added on to because I put a big, massive fan on the power supply because the power supply kept kicking off. And then I completely replaced the power supply because it just wasn't big enough.
Well, of course not.
I replaced the internet board because the extruder motor kept skipping. and I put a meter on it, and I don't even remember how I did it, but it was only pushing like 0.2 amps to the extruder, which is barely enough to turn it, let alone. And there's no adjustment. You can't adjust it. It's impossible. There's no little pot to turn.
Yeah. No
So
potentiometer on it.
nothing. There's no adjustment for it. There's no way to adjust it ever.
Welcome to technology land.
That's
All right.
all I need to adjust, right? What else did I want to change?
No, you got the motors working the right way, so I think that was it.
Oh crap!
And I set the E-steps for what I have on mine. I have the Hemera on one printer. I have 407, so that should get.
Yeah, when
close.
I tuned mine, I had to kick it way down. I think on the duet, I got it down to like 394, 395, something like that. I've heard a lot of people say that the 407 is too high.
Yeah, I just adjusted the extrusion multiplier, which was like 0.95, 0.94.
Terry leaving? I haven't really been watching chat because got too many windows open on my one screen.
I'm still staring at Marlin right now and taking apart motors. Well, not taking apart. Getting all these 0.9 or these little pancake motors organized.
So you just like the thinking of that, I just looked over at it while I was compiling, and I didn't hit upload. I just hit compile like an idiot. So now I'm gonna have to recompile. Can you tell my train of thought is scattered today?
I'm the same way. I didn't get much sleep the last 2 days working on Marlin stuff, and printers. I finally got all my printers converted to SKR, so it's just like running like a madman.
Yeah. Anyway, the Noctura fans.
No, I don't like them for part cooling, like printer, like hot end. Like they're great on cases and cooling things, but
see, I never did until I discovered the double width ones.
Yeah, you can definitely get a lot more static pressure that way. That's the issue. Is like if you go 4010 for 4010, you get half as much static pressure, so half as much cooling, and then you get really crappy extrusion. Now if you double the size,
like there's a lot of air flowing out of that right now.
Oh yeah,
because I have.
The thing is, on the Prusa you can't. You can only fit a 4010. If you add a 4020, it bumps into the axis early, so you lose 10 millimeters of axis.
Oh, I was gonna say I knew it would stick out of that, but I didn't think about it hitting.
Yeah, and they make little like bendy tools to make it fit, but then you move the fan further away from what it's cooling, lowering its power again. So I'm like, then I add a 4030? Like it keeps stacking on itself.
Yeah.
So
but I've been thinking with the Hemera, the 4020 is off.
Yeah, I put a crazy fan on my Hemera.
Quiet. It's so
mine is not quiet. I have a 8,000 RPM fan on it, so.
Yeah, no, because the stock Hemera fan that they supply with it. This is my bedroom. That thing is that's the loudest fan. That's louder than the stock ANET fans were. That thing is freaking loud.
I did some measurements inside the heat break, and it's not very efficient. Only because that fan was weird. Like there was air pushing back out of it, which means that somewhere either the fan was too powerful, which is why it's loud. It has a high RPM, so air was pulling. Like if you put your hand in the back of the fan, it was blowing out of it, which means
I've had it happen with other ones.
Which that means your fan is too powerful, and so it's causing some kind of turbulence and blowing backwards, and that's bad. You don't want that. So I switched it to a different fan that has a Mechatronics makes these. They're a USA company that makes fans. It's an amazing fan. Huge ball bearings, like they last forever. But I put one of those on, and it's louder, but it's a better like fan technology. So the air actually kept blowing out versus back at me. And I'm like, okay, this works. And I measured the temps. I'm like, it was well within range with the stock cooler, but it got even better with the nicer fan. But yeah, it is loud. I tried it too. I was like, this is really loud for such tiny fan. There's the other Wi-Fi chip I'm looking for. I bought all these Wi-Fi chips, but I'm never going to use it.
I hate the brown of that thing, especially on this orange and black. So I've been talking to Robbie Mack. He's got the resin printer.
Yeah.
I'm seriously considering. I've got a spare one of those that I kind of beat up the case to. I'm seriously considering tearing it apart, and I started last night. It's not that hard to do. And
Well, if you want a black
Jen's
one that's
printing one out of like bright orange to match that.
well, if you want a black one that's similar in sound, Delta or Orion. If you go to DigiKey, go to
Yeah.
Orion and look for their 4500 RPM 4020. It's silent. I have it on a couple printers back here, and it sounds like an octave.
Yeah, but it's like $35.
No, it's like $9.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Because I got these.
You got to wire it. It comes with just the 2 wires out of it, and you got to do the rest of it. But
well, that's all I ever use. I always snip the other ones out and
Yeah.
just use the red or the white and black or yellow and black. I guess it is on the because that's got the sun on ones.
Yep.
And
Yeah, those are loud.
And they're not as loud as ANET or they're still louder than the Nocturas, but they're quiet compared to most of them.
Yes, Mr. Buttram, it is exactly how it's spelled, Mechatronics. DigiKey sells a good. I have their crazy blower fan on 2 of my printers, and I keep them at 80%, which is why I can do like crazy overhangs, because when it goes to overhangs and bridges, it kicks to 100, and it's loud. Like, you can't hear it back there now, but when it goes to a bridge or an overhang, it's like, wow, that's loud.
See, the problem I have with those is that's the other thing I've noticed, and people don't seem to mind it, but it drives me nuts. If I put my blower fans on anything less than like 90%, I hear that high-pitched whine of it, like struggling.
Yeah, this one isn't bad. Like I can crank it down lower, and I don't hear a buzz. And I normally have that same issue. Like when the Mark III first launched, there was definitely a sound out of the motors because the TMC steppers weren't properly tuned when it first launched. So there was like this high-pitched squeal at all times, and I'm like going crazy. And then they finally tuned it, and it went away. But these Mechatronic fans. If anyone ever wants a good fan, man, DigiKey sells them. The only downfall is DigiKey's shipping is stupid expensive. Like, it should be free. But it's not. It's like $9 minimum shipping every time. So I always make a $60 order every time. Like, I just ordered...
I'm going to have to put tie wrap on that.
Where is it? Oh, they're over on the other table. I bought JST connectors. I'm like, I kept buying these kits that had like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 connector ends for the motors, and I'm like, wait, why don't I just buy the ones I use? I bought 102, 103, and 104s, which is all I ever use, and then 400 the ferrules, and I spent $20 versus buying a kit that comes with things I don't need for $12. So DigiKey.
I have a feeling that just cross-threaded, but oh well.
No.
Off that damn roll. The roll's too good. I got to put some resistance on that roller.
I gotta see if this is a 9mm thingy.
Nah, I can't do that. Somehow different. Come on, stop.
Don't do it.
It's falling off the side of the damn roll. All right. It's all loaded. I just put the pie back on it.
Nice.
Closed out Visual Studio.
Probably a good choice.
Error report from the printer. Your printer firmware reported an error due to Octoprint will disconnect. Won't connect. I have a feeling that's because I just unplugged it.
Yeah, usually. Sanyos are really good too.
Brown pie is ready.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good fan brands. I like the Mechatronics so that all their fans use big ball bearings, like not little tiny 4mm ball bearings. Like they put a nice chunky ball bearing on there, so they're even if they're tilted funny or you're moving the printer, they don't start making weird choppy sounds.
Well, that's what I like about the Sun-Ons. If you look, they have that maglev. There's
The
no
magnet
bearing.
is nice. Yeah,
It's floating on a magnet.
wait till you print really, really fast, though. I've had that issue. I'll hear a click when it changes directions really fast.
Board list fetch failed. What the hell is that?
I have no idea.
Me either.
I don't use Octoprint anymore.
The temperatures look about right, so let's heat it up and see if anything fails out on me again.
Let's see here.
While it's heating up, I can actually lift the Z and see about the home bump.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah, that's plenty high. It's almost too high now.
The good news is you have the power to change it.
That's good, though. I'd rather it too high than not high enough.
Yeah, do that on the BL touches because I don't want the little probe pin to bust off.
I will never use those.
I do.
If you flatten and tram your bed properly and put one of those little height adjusters on it, you never need a BL touch because you actually have a flat bed.
Yeah, I ended up with one of the printers that I have over here as a very warped bed. And I was like, okay, do I spend $60 on a new bed? Or do I just buy a BL Touch for $35?
Just about any bed.
So I ended up just...
a net stock bed.
I wasn't that brave. I was just like, I'm buying this BL Touch. And then now it's perfect.
Yeah.
Of course.
The problem is it's not, because if the bed's warped and you're using the BL Touch, your prints are warped.
Well, just the bottom. I have it set to fade, so first 10, and then after that, it's fine.
Yeah. And again, for stuff like, I mean, you print mostly like the toy.
This stuff is the only printer that's printing like actual parts is this one back here. All it does is print parts all day.
Yeah. If
all day,
I
every day.
Mechanical stuff, I'm constantly printing stuff for the house and door jams, and I can't have a screwed up bottom. It just can't. It won't work. Yep. Heating failed. Bed.
It might be that it needs more time to reach. Is it reaching the temp and then failing, or is it waiting to get there then fails?
I never saw it, so.
Oh.
I wasn't watching. I was yakking with you. Let's kick it right back on and see what it's reading now and see how high it is. I know it was climbing because I was watching it. I did watch it to make sure it was going up.
Yeah, because there's a couple of things in.
I was only going for 50. It's at 38 now.
Yeah, it might be. You might want to do a PID tune first and see if that helps. Or where is that in here? There's a thing in here that yells at it and says, "Hey, wait a little bit longer," because there's like a certain amount of time that Marlin needs to get to, and if it doesn't reach it in that time, it's like, "Ha ha."
Because the duets have a certain height climb. If it takes too long, it'll warn you and say it's taking too long, and then it'll error out on you.
Yeah.
Okay, why didn't it open? Oh, I hate that. Open project. Downloads. Why didn't it? It always saves it, and then sometimes it doesn't. It's so weird.
If you build it, it'll save it. If you don't build it, it won't save it.
I built it and uploaded it.
Darn.
That's in the regular configuration H, right?
Yeah, the PID stuff, and then also there's
it's right here in the temp somewhere.
Yeah, okay, temp residency time.
Reloading it.
Here. Let me pull up what you had in your actual one, because I did not copy any of that over, so that's probably why. Configuration.h.
Oh, where is it? Thermal settings, right here somewhere. Temp sensor, dummy thermistor, max redundant sensor differential, window histories, max temp.
Well, you have also 10.1.3 on both of those. 25.100. Yeah, residency time is 10 for the differential. 10.1.3, 10.1. That's what you have on your firmware.
I don't even know what you're looking at.
I'm in your config.h you sent me.
Yeah.
Let's see the other configuration.h.
Max tensor sensor differential.
Check what you got in this one. Yep, 10.3. Oh, you have a higher hysteria? Nope, same thing. And
I'm not even finding that setting anywhere.
There's a couple places. So config.h, you've got the max redundant temp sensor differentials, and after that's like the time it waits for the hot end to settle, and that's your first area. Then in configuration advanced.h,
I'm not seeing that.
hit find and look for like residency. That should pull you to where that is. It's like right after the temp sensors.
Okay. Temp residency time, 10 seconds. Time to wait for hot end to settle.
Yeah, those are the same on yours and mine, so that's no difference here. I'm gonna take a look at your bed PID and see if that's much different.
Okay, but let's just
your bed PID is way different, so this might be it.
let's do a PID tune in the bed.
Yeah,
Now,
it's way different. You're at the default on here is 10.023 and 305. Yours is 295, 35.65, and 610. So probably a lot different.
Why isn't it connecting to the printer?
Because it doesn't love you yet.
You know what I don't like about Octoprint is it takes forever to load sometimes.
Yeah, I end up using Repetier because of that. It's on. Gonna go. 3 seconds later.
I never tried it.
It's not bad.
This board list.
Octoprint is nice because of one, it's free, and two, the community stuff is amazing. Like the plugins and the smart people in the community, epic. But I wanted touchscreen integration because like I have little touchscreens behind me, so I can just walk up and I can control 4 printers per touchscreen and just be like, I'm going to send another print. Here, can I screen share? Will allow me to do that.
What the hell is the command for BID tune for the bed now?
M303E-1 is bed, and then S is the number of times, or C is the number of times it checks, and S is the temperature you want to PID tune for.
So,
hey, Paul.
I'm sharing this so you can see it. So I want to do
M303
space
E-1. That sets it for bed.
-1. You sure?
Yep. Space, and then C, and then how many times you want? I normally run it as 8, so it runs it 8 times. Like it just jumps.
Yeah, you really don't need the bed to run 8 times, though, do you? I do with the hot.
No, it's not full. It's not the full. It just goes up to full, and then it just pings it 8 times.
So
you can do
C
6
amount of time.
Yep, and then space, and then S, then the temperature you want. So 60, S60.
Then.
Yep, PID auto tune start. Yay! I remembered it. Ooh, Jacob State Farm's here.
It's not working.
It takes a second.
Yeah, it's not even setting a temperature on the bed.
It's not going to show you on the screen. At least not. At least I never see it on the screen.
The bed temperature usually you have the 2 actual temperature and
what it's set to. Yeah, it doesn't show you what it sets to.
No,
but
the actual bed temperature is going up. So
yep,
really, really slow.
Yeah, it's weird.
Even for that bed, I mean that bed's underpowered anyways. I really need to get rid of it.
Let's see here.
But one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, curmudgeon, what's up? I didn't even see you guys come in. Paul Cumber.
Oh,
freaking out. It can't even do a PID tune.
Huh. Yeah, I would change it in the firmware then.
Somewhere.
That could be too.
No.
Yeah, it's sending a kill, which just means
it clips in pretty hard.
Yeah, I would set the PID in the firmware, recompile, and just like the one you had in there. Like,
it's almost getting there. I mean, it's going up. It's just really slow.
Yeah.
But it was always slow on this printer.
Yeah, but I would definitely jump into the bed PID settings and add your values that you had in there before.
I have no idea what they were before.
Well, I got them for you. Whenever you get to the bed PID, I'll send you the 3 values.
PID. PID temp. Am I in the bed or the
Yeah, you want to be bed.
PID?
You'll scroll down.
Default PID is 10.023 and 305.
You need 295 for the P, so KP is 295.
Instead of 10?
Yes, that's probably why it's causing it.
295?
Yeah, that's what you had in your firmware.
2.95 or 295?
295.
Yeah.
And then you've got for the I value, it's 35.65 instead of 0. Whatever.
35.65.
And then your KD is 610.21.
610.21.
Give that a whirl.
21. Save. Unplug and then plug in.
Yeah, old curmudgeon, you definitely can send it through the EEPROM, but definitely want to save it in firmware, because then if he does like an M502, you don't want him resetting it back.
Well, that's
because it was saved in
the whole
firmware.
problem. Is if I'd have done this in the first place, saved it all, and then just saved this firmware off,
Yeah,
I would have had all this already, which
Yeah,
I
so
normally do.
yeah, I may make a bunch of firmwares for everything, and each one's in its place. Like if I PID tune it, I'm going to go put that PID tune in the firmware and save it. That way, if I ever default anything or whatever, because I always do, anytime I install firmware, I hit M502 and just recall all values from firmware, and then M500 to save. That way, there's nothing in EEPROM, because the thing is EEPROM doesn't get overwritten. Yeah, it looks like the connection's getting
Never
creepy.
free. Yeah. Is my computer is my video all freaking out?
Yeah, it's probably because you just hit the
I got
compile button.
yeah, it's soaking all my processor power.
Yeah, it happens on this one too.
That's unusual.
I'll lose about 10 frames.
The only time that I had this thing actually dogged down in the live stream.
Yeah, for Visual
Sure,
Studio
it's a little
Code's opening up
crap.
everything in the background.
It's because it's Visual Studio Pro thing. I hate Visual Studio. Mostly because it's made by Microsoft. Chris's screen.
Yeah. All right. Let's hop over to. Oh, I don't need to leave anywhere. Let's go to here. So this is the Repetier server. Where's my other one? Do I have my other one? Oh, that's one I just added.
I've never used Repetier. Is it Repetier or Repetier?
I think it's Repetier. I just call it Repetier because it's a weird thing. So this printer, well, I've got my 4th one disconnected. My buddy's got it. But like, I'll go over to my purple printer, and you can see the prints you're going to print, like a nice visual picture. So, which is really fun. Like, that's my favorite part of it, is I can actually see what I'm about to print. And then, of course, you've got full bed control and exclude G-code region, which is, it's a plugin in, why is my bed size weird? It is not 135. Okay. Printer settings, probably didn't set my printer shape on this one. Oh no, I did, 235. Oh yeah, X right is 250.
On chip flash.
Y rear is 210.
Done. Everything came out.
Save. Printer. There we go. That's better. Yeah, you control
The
stuff.
pie plugged back in.
It's neat.
Then pull up the Frown King. Get rid of the error.
I got the name right.
I just called it that because Glenn used to bitch at it so much.
I think one of my other favorite features in Repetier is Repetier, is I can look at the G code and actually edit the G code.
Yeah, that's kind of like doing duets do.
Yeah, so I'll just sit here and be like, I want to change this line number, and just start changing the line number, and it'll save the old line numbers to replace it. So if I want to change my bed temp setting,
Right.
instead of
Just
that,
keep it up to 50 and see if it'll do it.
I want 95 on my bed, I will close, and it'll show me that I changed my bed temp from 80 to 95. So pretty neat stuff. I kind of like some of the features of it. Mostly that if I go to this screen, I can see all of the printers at one time and be like, okay, why isn't anything working?
Okay, that's climbing really slow even for this thing.
Good. Hopefully it just works.
It should climb faster.
Is your screen still bugged out?
No. Oh, maybe it is.
Huh. Because I see me moving. I don't see you moving on my... But
You know, that's weird. I think my camera locked up.
No! Hey, it's me. And it's the llama. He's very dark. He didn't turn his lights on. Instead of a thermal runaway, he just shorted out all his house power. I have mine hooked up to a Pi, so the Pi is mounted to the back of the 7-inch Pi screen, and then that's it. So, and I run them all Ethernet, but you can run them Wi-Fi. It's the same. And you can run it off like a cheap PC. I've been pretty good.
And we're back.
Hey, it works.
It was a Brave error. I've been playing with Brave browser.
Oh. I have Firefox on this one because
Yeah.
I don't like Chrome and I don't like Edge.
You realize Firefox is Chrome.
Well, sort of. If
It's
I open up
basically
20
Chrome.
tabs, my computer doesn't struggle in Firefox. If I open 20 tabs in
Chrome,
Chrome.
I know. Everyone loves Chrome. That's the only reason I keep going back to good old Mac Safari. Chrome
Yeah.
is a freaking resource hog to the max. I mean, it works beautifully.
Yeah.
But it's a resource hog.
Yes, Techie Dad, 1 Pi per 4 printers, and setting up a
Sure,
printer is
Techie Dad.
awesome. Like, you just hit plus and you add it. You don't have to make another instance. If you want to add cameras, you just go add camera. There's no, like,
Okay.
changings. Well,
Okay. It's not beeping. It's not chirping.
That was it. It was just a really bad PID, too.
Because it's up. It's at 50 degrees now.
Perfect.
Or so it says.
I just wish Repetier was free. It's like $70, but you get 5 licenses, so you can have 5 different machines running it. So if you want to,
Okay.
I mean,
There's definitely something wrong with it, though.
why is that?
I don't know. Can you see it?
I see it blinking.
Yeah. It don't normally blink like that.
It
That's
should when it's
It's all 4 bed lights going freaking nuts at once. It's like I'm turning on, I'm turning off, I'm turning on, I'm turning off, I'm turning on, I'm turning off.
It's usually, I mean, unless it's in what's that called? Bang bang mode. Usually it's all on pulsing because then it's trying to keep a nice steady temp. Because in bang bang it goes on and then it turns off for a while and then it turns on.
That's what it used to do. Maybe
Yeah,
it wasn't bang bang before. I don't know.
Probably was. I mean, you can go back to it by just disabling PID bed and just making sure your value is.
No, as long as it's working, I'm gonna let it go for a minute. Then I'm gonna cool it back down and let it. I'll do a PID tune now. I know it'll do it.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll definitely it's a lot better value.
Right.
10. Yeah.
Let's go back to the old Frown King. I should plug a camera in.
Do it.
Let's extrude some filament after I heat it up. Hot
There
end
you go.
205. So you'll love this.
Yes.
So after I burn through all that awesome roll of blue that I want on your stream,
Ooh, yeah, that blue moon.
dude, I burned right through that. I've never burned through a roll so fast in my life. That stuff was awesome.
I've got that giant Jesse I printed with it up here. I burned through
I
a roll of it
printed
myself.
Jesse's and I printed Vikings and I printed. Actually, most of it went to. I made like paper divider units, you know, that hold your paper. Because my brother shows up one day and I'm printing it and gluing it together, and he's like, "How much did that cost you?" I'm like, "I don't know. Didn't really cost me anything other than the electricity." He's like, "You know, you can go to like Staples and buy those for like $4." I'm like, "Yeah, but what's the fun in that?"
Yeah. So I tell myself nowadays.
It. You know, as I'm sitting there with like 3 clamps and trying to hold it all together to glue it together because I didn't really design it properly.
Yeah, I needed a
I'm like,
doorstop.
"Oh, no." And he's like, you could have just gone and bought one. I've got like 100 of them sitting in my office.
Amazon.
It's
I
like,
think
yeah, but
Amazon makes us lazy.
But anyway, so I bought another roll of the Blue Moon, and then I bought a roll of the Mystery Orange, which is what the
Ooh.
printer is all made out of.
Mystery Orange is nice.
I had nothing but troubles with it. Still sitting over here.
No! I just printed
It was
this in the
just a
red.
nightmare. Every single thing I printed out of it failed.
Huh.
I don't know if you can see that.
That's
I'd
weird.
get delaminations, I'd get clicking extruders.
I blame the Hemera.
This old MK8 never clicks. I don't know why everyone thinks MK8s are so bad. That is the ballsiest extruder I've ever had.
I had a Maker Select Plus.
It was hideous. They sent me a new roll, which is what's on there now. I just loaded the new roll.
And it works right?
It's been printing fine.
Awesome. Yeah, he's still, because I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, how's it going? He's like, well, I think I might have done something to make the extrusion better, because I think he was getting a little bit of ovality that he wasn't noticing. Like, it was coming out a little oval, so that might be why it's clicking.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just like
a
little bit too wide.
It's I was going back and forth with what's his name?
Dave?
No, not actually Dave. He's got a servicey dude that he emailed back and forth
Oh,
with.
yeah. Dustin.
Yes. That's exactly who it was. Anyway, he was going through and we were going back and forth. It was like 2 days. And honestly, toward the end, I was getting snippy because he kept asking me questions. And I'm like,
questions, man.
I think the last, one of my last 2 emails to him was like, dude, there's obviously a problem with the filament. What are we going to do about it? He emailed me back, oh, sorry, dude, I already sent it out. I sent the order in. I was just trying to figure out what was wrong. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was getting kind of, after a while, you get to the point where you get that feeling like they're trying to weasel out of it. You know what I mean? And he wasn't. He'd already done it. He's like, oh, here's your order. I had it the next day. He's like, oh, sorry, I didn't email you the shipping code. Yeah,
they did that for a panel duo that died on me. Like, I plugged it in like a day later, just died.
Yeah.
And they asked me a couple questions, and I was like, oh, so what's the next? He goes, oh, I've already sent you a new one. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. He's got to learn. I mean, I don't mind answering the questions. After that, I don't mind answering the questions. I love the guys, and I want them to ask questions so they can figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what anyone says. Dave has not had that filament line long enough to be truly a consistent maker of filament.
He's getting better every day, just like everybody else that gets into it. It's not an overnight project.
Buying for resin, whatever he's using, and his color combinations, and the price he's charging.
Yeah.
If you get a bad roll, get the frick over it. Call him up, do like I did, email him, call him, whatever. He'll send you another one.
Yeah. Printed solids like that, man. They've never let me down.
The filament is good filament. He's
$19 for USA made filament is kind of unheard of. Well, okay. I've bought $9.99 USA made filament, but every single roll was cracking. Like, it was Mad Maker's filament. Every filament color I bought, they sent me 2 wrong colors in my order, and all the filament was breaking on the spool. Like, I had to like salvage it. And then when I sent them emails, they never responded. So I just started printing. So I put a 1mm nozzle on and just started printing crap with it because it.
Well, that's
like, I'm learning through this.
With the crappy roll that I got from him.
Yeah, that was big
problem. I'm running it through the Hemera on the Core XY with a 0.8, and it seems to be all right. I've had a few. You get a few obvious layers that are kind of not great, but
sounds like an oval issue, which.
Yeah, well, that's what I think it was because I
bought some.
I linked it all up and I sent him all the dimensions, and there was areas it was like 1.8, and there was areas that was 1.5, like within 4 or 5 inches, and he was going on about how it ovalizes, and I know this. Everyone in the world thinks that it's round. I know it's not. I know it's actually kind of football shaped. There's just no getting around that.
You just don't want it actually football
how
shaped.
It works.
What speed do you print a benchy at? You know what? If you want a good-looking benchy, I wouldn't go over 30 to 60 millimeters per second. If you want a speed test, go wherever you want. That's the thing, is a benchy can be a speed test. It's not a very good speed test, but if you want a good-looking benchy, 30 to 60. I mean, I do my infill at 60 a lot of the times, and then everything else 30 to 50.
I run everything at. If I want quality, I run at 30 or 40. If I want to just run it out, I run it at 60. No matter what my printer is, it just seems to be good 2 round numbers. Anything much above 60, I'll get a print, but it looks like crap, and I'm too anal to deal with it.
Yeah, bed slingers, man. Like going past 60 on the exterior perimeters is just
even
that's a test of patience.
I don't go above 60 on the Core XY anymore, especially now that it's got the big ass heavy Hemera on it. That's the one thing about the Hemera; it's pretty freaking heavy.
Yeah, it's like 900 grams, I think, once said and done, without a fan shroud on it.
I measured it; it's actually heavier than my MK8. I really wish they'd gone with a smaller motor.
They can. They went smart. They go, we're going to send this out, and we're going to put a big motor on it that's more than powerful enough.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's which is fine. Like, I'm okay with having a more than powerful motor, and it's not excessive. It's not like they put a 40 millimeter motor back there. They put like a 30 millimeter motor, that's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I prefer a pancake because I run pancakes on all my geared extruders. But hey.
And their motor, it's an LDO motor. They outright said it's an LDO motor.
Oh, it is indeed.
I don't know why LDO hasn't come out with, a pancake motor to bolt on it since they've got all the.
Yeah, literally, because they don't want to. They probably don't want to step on E3D. Like, all right, we're going to make product for your product. Like,
well, they kind of do already.
They do, but in an agreement that you make it for me only. Not for you to make a competing product like accessory.
I have a feeling they have a signed thing that for the first couple of years they can't compete with that.
Yeah, they never do. Like they make stuff for Prusa, they don't make it for anybody else. So I mean, it's just they're good people.
Yeah,
the Y-axis on a bed slinger is always going to be worse. Now, if you have Marlin, you can put your own firmware on there. Junction deviation helped me a ton on ringing. Like I don't get ringing on my printers anymore now that I've added.
I haven't played with that yet. I was actually watching.
It's enabled on your firmware, and I set it.
Yeah, I saw that. Because I was going to turn it off and put good old fashioned jerk back on, but I don't think I'm gonna.
Yeah, give it a try.
Watching. You were talking about doing a benchy super fast. You see, Teaching Tex's latest video where he did.
He did
the junction deviation, and he's cranking a freaking benchy out at 120 millimeters a second.
Yeah, he did the junction deviation backwards. You should set the junction deviation to patch your ringing, not set your acceleration first. And then that's why when he did the second test, it looked like junction deviation didn't do anything. It's because he already set a really low acceleration that the printer can handle with the least amount of artifacts. So it's not gonna do much. Now, if you set it to like 4,000 and then turned on junction deviation and started messing with it and did the actual calculation for it, which is, I think, 0.4 times the jerk squared divided by the acceleration gives you the value. And it's usually pretty darn close. I haven't had to do a test. Yeah, order operations is important with things like that. Like, if there's something wrong with your printer, don't change everything. Change one thing at a time. Tight it down. Make it good.
Is it sucking in the filament or is it going backwards? No, it's sucking it in.
Okay, good.
I was wondering. I didn't check that when I changed the other motors. I wonder if that was backwards, but it's not.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing anything coming out.
I
didn't know. There you. I just didn't load it in far enough.
I did add a loading menu that I've set because I have the same hot end on my other one. So you have a loading menu on your screen. So if you want to do a load, unload, it's in there. It works. Yeah, Marlin doesn't explain what to do first. Like a lot of this stuff ends up just being a lot of testing. Like a lot of people are like, Chris, what test do you do? And I'm like, man. Like I print a 40 millimeter cube with one wall, no infill, and no top. Like, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, you can usually printing that is enough to find out what's wrong. But
let's see how close the bed is.
You definitely don't want to like change jerk settings and acceleration settings at the same time and be like, why doesn't this look good now? Like, well, which one did what? So usually for me, it's change jerk first, then change acceleration. You got this. Get those feeler gauges.
Yeah, this is fun. Nah.
The good old feeler gauges.
Well, now this is the other thing that I always do and most people don't. I level the X to the frame, and it's level.
Oh, and I added the leveling screen, so you can just go to each corner. It'll automatically go to each corner and the center, and you can measure each one. And
yeah, see, I don't have to do that.
Well, I turned it on.
My bed never moves again. All I have to do is get the X height or the Z height.
Yeah.
I do with but this is leveling that arm, the X arm, to the frame.
Oh, okay. You're doing the gantry leveling.
On the bed, everything's square and cleaned and trimmed and blah blah blah. But it seems like it is. So
I cheat with my probes because Marlin has a feature where it probes closest to the left and farthest to the right, and then it goes, oh, the gantry's off, and it'll level the gantry automatically for you.
Oh, I gotta make a new freaking printer.
No, don't do
Printer type. Other.
Yeah.
I need a new printer, the Frown King. I don't have the Frown King in my slicer.
What's fun is this model actually was a test print, and I don't know why. I printed this with a 1.8 degree motor. Now I'm printing it again with a 0.9. I don't know why, but good old 12-hour print.
Frown King.
Ooh, Idea Maker.
The nozzle is a 0.6.
I just started playing with Idea Maker. I don't get it yet.
300 by 300 by 375. It's actually 400, but I didn't give it enough cable, so it won't reach there. Not 4,000.
Perfect.
Advanced. General. What else am I missing? Rectangular, Marlin. Distance from border. I don't care about the distance from borders. This is
What's funny is I can't see your menu that you're clicking on the screen.
Oh, it's not showing up?
No, I just see your mouse moving around. It's the best.
Well, I'll just share the whole screen then. Then you can. I thought if it did the application window, it would. Don't need that. Where's my Idea Maker again? There we are.
Now I can see it.
Okay, extruders 1, based on the PLA, default action, export to local disk, advanced. E-steps are fine. I'm not going to play with those yet. Primary extruder, everything's good. Continue. Finish. And there's my printer. That's how fast you set up a printer in Idea Maker.
I just cheat in Prusa Slicer. I just go, I'm going to use this setting and just change a couple values. New printer.
Yeah. They're all about the same. Everyone makes a big deal about setting up the printer. The basic setup is just, what size is your nozzle? How big's your damn printer?
Yeah, my issue with Prusa Slicer is there's no just like, make a new printer profile. It's always, I have to copy another profile and make it.
Yeah.
I'm like, just give me a base zeroed value thing.
Yeah. Idea Maker does that similar because Idea Maker, most slicers slice according to your printer.
Yeah.
Idea Maker is all based on the filament.
Nice.
So all your filament profile is your whole profile. The only thing that cares about the printer is how big is it and how big's your nozzle, and that's it, really.
Those are all
you have a
personal.
huge bed. It's all it cares about your printer. Everything else is based on the filament. But you can't even start until you base it off of one of their filaments.
Yeah, I saw that.
Everything in the world is based off of one of their filaments. Now, you can edit it and everything, but I don't want to base off your filament. I want to start with my own from scratch.
Yeah, I just want a zeroed value thing. It warning me when I forget to not add something, which is just a pain in the butt on them to make. Gosh, I get so much
Where is it? Z-stop mirrored. That's the one I want. Because my Z-stop arm did not print so well because I was using the crappy filament. And so I'm going to print my own new Z-stopper guy.
I gotta admit, I love that dark gray and light gray combo on that.
Oh, dude, there's the last like two updates to Idea Maker have improved it like immensely. I mean, just the whole. Oh, it's. I mean, I like Cura, but the one thing I hate about Cura is like when you go to rotate something, there's no, easy rotate. You gotta like sit there and actually drag it by the little wheel like this, try and get it right. It's just a pain in the butt. There's no readout. You know what I mean?
Welcome to the future.
This is just like click, click. I want it there. I'm done. It's self-bed levels. It just the whole interface on Idea Maker has far surpassed all the other ones as far as I can say. The other thing
I like their
don't
interface.
about Cruiser Slicer is the supports are freaking miserable.
They can be. They can be very miserable.
I hate them. And this has the exact same setup for supports as S3D.
Yeah. And it's not S3D, which is the best.
I can manually. That's the only thing I ever liked S3D for. I can manually sit here and add supports anywhere I want them.
Yeah, I love how they do it. I think one of my favorite programs for supports is Craftware for CraftBot.
Oh God, see, I hated it.
I like the support. I hate the program. I love their supports because it's like click and you can drag it at angles, so you can make the support at an angle off of something. I'm like, this is freaking brilliant. Like, or you do 2 point. Like, I want to support here, but I want to connect from here. I'm like, this is. Why doesn't anyone else steal this? Like, but the actual slicer was horrid. I'm like, why is everything so slow? Why does it have a sky in the background? What is this nonsense? Actually, I need to install that on here. Another good one that's fun is the one from Zortrax or something. They make that. I think I have it on this computer.
Never even seen theirs.
Oh, there's Idea Maker. There's Simplify 3D. There's Mesh Mixer, FreeCAD. I guess I don't have it installed on here. There's another slicer for one of those weird printers, and it's awesome. Like the look of it is awesome. I don't prefer it as a slicer, but it works.
Waste mode, extruder. This has got to be a 6.2, 6.2. Enable retraction. I don't need actually that. Oh, right, because I based it on the Max Micron. I should have based it on the. Oh no, that's all right. Infill pattern. I do not want to concentric. Let's go with something like gyroid, just for giggle. I need about 4 and 4 because I want a structural. Now this is one thing I don't like. They added this new top surface and bottom surface part. What is the difference between the top solid fill here and the top solid fill layer here? It's the same thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't get it. I watched their video on it and it made absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know what I did on mine. I just made a profile for the Mark III the other day and got it working, and I'm like, crap, I gotta go. I basically had to undo it because now I'm not running regular Prusa firmware anymore. So
I have found that I have to go up to 210 with that orange.
Yeah.
I can go a little faster in 25, I think.
It does have, I think it has white in it, and that white filament always needs to turn a little hotter. Stupid titanium dioxide.
So 30, fill speed, 30, bottom fill speed, 30,
400.
30, 75 travel. I can go faster than that. Let's go 90. It's still kind of slow, but port speed there isn't any, so I don't care right now. Got fill speed 40, bridging speed I want. Yeah, that's good enough. Bridging shell I can go up to 40. Advanced.
Ooh, that's good, old curmudgeon.
Don't need to. Yes, I will override the flow. Uh-oh, phone's ringing. That's usually a problem.
Bag.
That's my brother calling my mother.
Perfect.
And it ported over my whole start. So, save. Okay, I should be ready to slice.
I'll do it.
1 hour and 4 minutes. Preview. Let's see how it looks.
Oh, that's
pretty
perfect.
darn good to me. Gyroid infill. That looks. Just doing that right there is like trippy. It's like giving me 70s flashbacks
Magic beans.
when I was a mushroom / pothead.
Anything else we need to put in anti-static bags? Oh yeah,
Dave.
another board.
Done. Let's bring that into upload. Upload. There we go. Let's see if it'll actually print something.
Only someone knows. I love they bought these motors that said quiet, and they're not. They're just as loud as the loud ones.
What?
I bought these Winston motors just for cheap case fans, and it said quiet. There's two versions online. There's the quiet and there's the fan. Yeah, just little 40mm fans. It's like $9 for a 5-pack. I was like, oh sure, why not?
Oh, that's one you were posting on Twitter that actually cools.
It does compare the Noctua at 4010, but
anything beats Noctua 4010. I'm sorry, they're useless.
They are a printer. They're not when you're trying to cool something that doesn't need to be very cold.
You know what I didn't do? I didn't actually level my nozzle. Let's see how close I am.
4.
I may need to have to reset that bump because that's a little high and a little slow.
Go to 4.
And I'll tell you what, it's giving me an almost perfect prime line. So
It's alive.
It's spitting out filament. Not that you guys can really see it, but
I believe.
it's I almost removed you. Remove from stream.
I'll hide in the backstage for a while.
That should make it a little bigger.
It's awesome.
It's printing.
Yeah, so you've got
Chris, you fixed my printer, man.
hey, and you've got S-curve and junction deviation on, so hopefully the print quality looks nice.
Yeah, I haven't even played with any of that.
Yeah, I don't like you didn't have linear advance on. I didn't enable that because that's just very particular. But
yeah, no, I will use linear advance, but that's one of those I don't generally. I didn't have it on, did I?
No.
Yeah, no, because I usually get the thing running good first and then do it.
And from what I remember, the 2208s don't like the extruder.
The 2208s on the SKRs. It'll
Is
run
it just
on
the SKR?
Yes. It's only on the SKR boards. I don't know why.
Yeah, so for me, like I enable, but then I have to set self chop off on the E, and then it all works. Yeah, you can enable it to 0. I just that's normally what I do, but when it's somebody else's firmware, like I was like, okay, this could make someone happy or unhappy. S-curve and junction you can't harm. I mean, junction's actually enabled by default now, so S-curve is not.
Right.
Is it the steps?
Something ain't right. Cancel. Yes. Come on, Pi. Told you to cancel. Yeah.
Do it.
Did I put a 0.4 nozzle on that?
Oh boy. What nozzle do you have on there?
I thought it was a 0.6.
Yeah, did you set it in
The nozzle that came off of the Frown King in the first place, which I put a 0.6 on it. So this is what that orange was doing with the other roll. This is exactly it. If you look at the prime line here of the skirt, it's all like jagged.
Huh.
And it's only that orange doing it. But then my prime line was fine. Look at that. That's perfect.
Huh. That's really odd.
It is odd. Oh boy. You know what I did do is I had the override on. But now I can't get it off this damn mat. I wonder if I got a little too close too, or too far away, one or the other.
It could be one or the other.
Because that is holding like a bear. Yep. That ain't coming off unless I sand it.
Then it sounds like you're too close.
Well, the good thing is I have more beds.
Yeah, I've got a stack of them.
You're over here.
It's like a 3-inch stack of new beds.
Yeah, there ain't nothing better than magnetic beds, man. That is the bomb. I will not go without. Maybe I'll go back to good old fashioned blue tape.
Yeah. Well, at least if it gets stuck, you just peel the blue tape off.
Well, have you ever seen these? These are the ones I made back when I was making my own magnetic beds. That's just a regular old piece of galvanized steel.
Yeah.
It's not even flex. If you like bend it too hard, it like stays there.
That's not a bad idea.
It worked beautifully. The only problem was, as I actually started doing this to get rid of the glass because I hated the weight.
Yeah.
The glass. Well, after I added this and the 100 freaking magnets underneath it to hold this big ass sheet, it ended up weighing more than the glass did.
Oh boy.
You know what? I'm gonna try it, but I am gonna actually set my height, which I think was part of the problem.
Yeah, if it's too close, that's not going to be good.
And why hasn't it
It's mad at you.
given me control back? Temperatures are all still up. There it is. And where's my little homing sheet? Right here. I have a special homing sheet. Oh, that's way too low.
Don't forget you got that fancy menu. So you can move the nozzle to each corner. Oh. It's so cool that you can just move the Z up and down with a quick little. Okay, what else do I need to do? I need to go shopping for containers. I also need to order a couple of things. Give me your Amazon.
It's going the wrong way, you dumbass.
Up is down. Down is right.
Still too tight.
Okay. Let's put away. Pay that for a project. Don't need this. This desk is somewhat cleaner than when I started. All right. I guess I should leave these in case I go print on site somewhere. It's got nice bearings in them.
Perfect. Raise it up. Hit print. See what happens now.
It's going to yell at you. It's too perfect.
Well, I have a feeling I got to reslice it because I had the override on there. A lot of these slicers like it to go to 90% extrusion rate instead of 100.
Oh.
And I left the 90% override on the slicer, and I probably shouldn't have. Yeah, I need to write down what else I got to do to this thing. Let's see, that 7mm freaking bump is too much.
Oh, you went to 7? Crazy guy.
Yeah, I went to 7, remember?
Oh, you went to 5.
No, I went to 7. 'Cause I was worried it wasn't enough because I think it used to be 5.
It was 2. It was too short.
Yeah, 2 was definitely too short. But I was having problems with it because I think the stock was 5.
Okay.
And I was having problems with it not being enough, but that's more than enough now. Because it's lifting it. Well, you know what? It doesn't hurt anything. I think we'll leave it.
Don't break what's not fixed.
Well, it's really slow. There.
Is it printing?
Yeah, it's printing. It was printing before. It just went. It almost looked like it was trying to print a raft. God, I didn't have raft on, did I?
Maybe you did. I've done stranger things.
No, there's no raft.
Oh my gosh, this mess is almost gone. Glad I keep printing these skulls to hold my...
Anything that needs a raft shouldn't be printed. That came out freaking awesome, dude.
That's that matte forge matte blue. I love that matte filament. It's crazy.
What filament is that?
Matte forge.
Oh.
They're matte PLAs, so it's like printed at 205. It's like perfectly matte. I'm like, this is so fun, and it's heavy. Like compared to a regular PLA print, just much more dense. They make really good holders for my tools.
I can't see. I need my glasses. I'm old and blind.
I'm getting there. I'm trying to catch up. Let's see here. What else do we go? Hey, here's the filament sensor. Why is that in a cup?
I wonder if this mat is just toast. I know you're not the biggest fan of Jim, are you?
I don't mind the products. I would shop on his site every once in a while. The green. There's a oh, this green. This is Atomic UV Green PETG. It's very green.
Yeah, that's green. That's almost green like this is orange. I wish the camera would pick this up because you have to see this orange in real life. There is no camera to burn your eyes like that orange does.
Yeah, the website's better. They got new pictures up of the filament. I think the orange has a new picture.
This whole printer is now that orange.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like I have a spool of that mystery orange over here, and it's like, wow, that's neat.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I turn the lights off, if it'll like glow for like 5 minutes.
Like this red doesn't show up on camera very well either. This is their red from printed solid.
Yeah, I haven't tried their red yet. I used to get Modestro or whatever in Canada through printed solid.
Okay.
That was the best red I ever had. They don't have it anymore. I keep emailing them and they never answer me. They're gonna get it back. They have the other colors, that's all HTPLA too, which I'm a big fan of HTPLAs.
They got a bunch of glitter too, because you have to have enough glitter filament to
I'm not a
choke someone.
guy. I got a bunch of protopasta and I very seldom. More because that's the only thing I hate about having like the fancy filaments.
And black.
Because I never want to use them because I always want to save it for something special.
I just burn through it, man. There's so many rolls. Like again, I need more like 1mm nozzle printers so I can just burn through some of this stuff.
I can't afford to. It's that simple.
Oh man, what else is left? I've slowly made this mess go away, but I can't reach my motors box to put all my zero pancake motors.
I gotta release that air duct too.
Don't do it.
Well, come to find out, I don't know if you saw my other video. I did a special air duct for the Hemera, for the punch cooling, and it fits beautifully on my one over here on the Duet with the Hemera over there. Anyways, I don't have the E3D nozzles. I'm using all micro Swiss nozzles.
Yeah, they're a bit longer.
Micro Swiss nozzles fluctuate like a 0.5 millimeter.
Yeah, they're longer and they're also taller.
That air duct on that one, it was too low to the bed.
Yeah, because
print another one.
On my Hemera, I printed an adjustable fan shroud.
Yeah.
That way you can move it up. I think it goes up and down like almost 3 millimeters in both ways, so you can set it, because I have a Volcano on mine.
Oh, I was gonna say you should try my thing, but it won't work with a Volcano.
Yeah, Volcano's tall, but I wanted to put giant nozzles on that because it's a 400 millimeter tall printer. I'm like, I don't want to sit there with a 0.4 millimeter nozzle all day.
No, I run all 8s, but that's got an 8, and this has got a 6.
Not thermal expansion. It's about the fact they're actually nozzles height is different compared to a stock E3D nozzle. So
Yeah,
you end up your fan
It's
shrouds,
wider.
if they're perfect on E3D, they're not perfect on Micro Swiss. Like mine, I had a Micro Swiss on my purple printer here for a while, and the fan shroud from that I have on there, it would blow just on the nozzle, like not on
Yeah,
the
it
print,
would.
and my nozzle would cool, and I had to rank up my temperature a bunch to make it work.
Yep. But anyway, I released that whole fancy air duct thing, and then I went and put it on this one, and I've had a couple people say you can't do it. I haven't gotten mine yet. That's that. Oh no, I thought that was the polymer crap. That's one of them fancy nozzles, huh?
Yeah, it's the Vision Minor brass nozzles that they machine.
Yeah.
They're machined really nice.
I ordered some of that Vision Miner bed adhesion crap when
Yep.
3D Printing Nerd did his video.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh, we didn't expect those kind of orders." It's like, dude, you were on a site. I mean, what has he got? Like 1 million followers now? I think he's close. Isn't he? He's got like 800,000 or 900,000 followers.
He's got a lot. It's at least over 100,000. He's got his silver YouTube thing, so I know he's got 100,000.
I just don't. How do you not expect to get like multiple hundreds of thousands of orders for free when you say? I mean, I heard free. I'm like, click, give me some, man. I'll try.
I got my free sample, and then I ordered a full bottle of it because I actually had gotten a sample through the Alien box.
Yep.
And I already was like, I had an issue printing nylon CF and ABS CF on this printer bed. It's just the textured sheet. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try this goo. Like, I hate Magic Goo. It doesn't do anything. And then I tried it. I was like, oh, my God, it sticks. And I don't have to keep reapplying it. Like, once I put it on, I got like 20 prints on it. And then I add a little bit more. And I'm like, this is what I want. And I don't have to remove it for my other materials because it works on every material. It's not like, because Magic Goo makes one for PC. That works, it works better for PC and ABS than it does PLA. So I have to have multiple goos. This one worked on everything. Like, I've printed PLA on it. It's fine. I don't have to remove it. I don't have to clean it. So I was like, this is nice. It's expensive. And if you're not printing things like polycarbonate and ABS and the CF nylons, there's no point, or nylon gel, there's no point buying it. But
yeah. No, you're right.
I was like,
I don't care what anyone says. Good old fashioned blue tape still is one of the best bed adhesives. It's just a pain in the ass.
It is, yeah. Especially if it gets stuck to the print, you're like, oh, well, whatever.
See, there's an easy way to remove it. Everyone bitches about that. You realize you just drop it in a plate of water for 10 minutes and it'll wipe off the paper towel.
Just don't do that PLA. It might dissolve. No, I'm just kidding.
I take a paper towel with some rubbing alcohol and you just rub it off. It comes right off. You don't have to sand it or scrape it. Everyone's like, sand and scrape it. You don't have to do that. Just get it wet. It's blue tape.
I want to complain anyway. Let me complain.
I think people just don't know,
Yeah, and I think it's a technology that's kind of like disappeared, so all the new people don't know about it.
Yeah.
And then now everyone's like, well, why not just do this? Like, you could do that? I didn't know. Well, yeah, of course you didn't know, because everyone's got a miracle new bed surface coming out. They've got Wham Bam and whatever.
See, Wham Bam, don't get me wrong, I love the Wham Bam PEX, but I actually use TH3Ds more just because it uses a lower temperature. I don't need to heat it up as much. I don't think it holds any better or any worse. It's just a lower temperature. I can run that at 40 degrees. I really don't need to heat it at all. It'll hold.
Well, I can say one thing.
Heat it off is the problem.
I can say one thing. Wham Bam's customer service was awesome because I couldn't get mine to stick. Like, nothing stuck onto mine. I printed PLA.
I love the company. I love him. I don't have a problem with it. I got a Wham Bam system. I got a TH3D. Actually, I've got 2 of each, I think. I don't know.
I got Ulti-Stick on this printer, and I love it. And I got fake stuff, and I've got the Prusa original textured sheets, and shoot.
I got so much crap. Yeah, I got you beat, dude. You don't want to see the boxes of beds I have. And I only had one printer with all my boxes of beds.
Prusa sheet. Hold on. There's some classics in there. This is Build Tack. What do I got here? Oh, this one is Print Bite from the England. And on the other side is PEI, Build Tack.
It's only about half of what I did.
Here's some Garolite.
Ooh, really?
Here's just Prusa PI. This is the first bed sheet that ever came with a Mark III. They used the yellowish Ultim sheets.
This was my very first homemade flex bed. This is just a piece of galvanized steel.
Ooh. Here's Build Tack PEI.
Here's a solid sheet of hardened plastic PEI.
Gecko Tech.
Here's a crappy one. Here's one for you. You know what this is? You've been around long enough to remember this stuff.
No. What is that crazy
This is a
cardboard?
print Z plate. This is actually the very first flex plate ever designed. It flexes, but it's
I've seen some printers that had that attached.
yeah, they got bought out by some big no name and disappeared.
Here's the second generation Prusa sheets. They had no lines on it.
The problem with this is this piece right here weighs like 3 freaking pounds. This thing's like a brick in my hand. It's really good. The adhesion on it and everything I printed on it was awesome.
It's the bed surface, or maybe I didn't grab it. I've also got another. I got Philiprint. I don't know where that is.
This one?
No, I saw that one too. That was another funky one for a while.
This is just Lexan.
Oh, nice.
Regular old everyday Lexan.
There was a brand that was selling like one that was very similar in like look.
You just smoke it with some sandpaper first. It works beautiful, other than you can't heat it. Because the minute it heats, it starts cupping.
Now, if only I were rich, I'd buy the carbon fiber bed just to have an actual carbon fiber bed.
PEI.
Ooh, PI on glass. That's a combo. I only have these steel sheets, and it's really heavy.
This stupid thing was like $100 too.
What? Does it work?
It worked great. It just weighs more than glass does. It was too damn heavy. But it did work. It worked beautiful. Like I said, they got bought out by someone. I think Strata Systems or one of the biggie fancy companies bought them out.
There it is, Philiprint. You got some Philiprint.
Well, that's just PEI, isn't it?
No, it's like a mixture. It's like a woven Garolite substance.
Oh.
But it's meant for like PLA ABS. It's not meant for nylon.
Yeah.
But it's got PEI on the other side. Because I'm doing mine double-sided, so.
Yeah, I did that for a while, and then I stopped because I got enough plates.
I have to in the Prusa beds because it's just PCB with contacts on top. So if you start rubbing it with the metal, you'll just cut into the copper traces on the board. So
yeah, I didn't. I never realized they weren't an actual aluminum bed. That's like that's a big no-no to me.
It warps a lot.
Well, I get why they did it now I think about it, because they use those super magnets to make the magnetic bed, but still, the aluminum takes the traces and distributes the heat. You don't get that.
The PCB does not. The edges are very cold. It's good. I mean, it works. It just, I would prefer an aluminum bed on my printers with a nice silicon. But
I actually prefer the old cheap aluminum, the PCB printed on the aluminum.
Yeah. Oh, red light. You don't. You can get Vision Miner sells it, and you can also get them from Farm. I think that's the name. It's in Europe. The ones who make who make these sheets, they also make carbon fiber, but they're expensive. It's like $100 for an actual carbon fiber bed, and it's only meant for high temp material. So if you're printing like nylon and PEEK, Ultim, you want that bed. It sticks to that. It does not stick. This will. Well.
Hey, have you tried Snow Labs PC Plus?
I'm back. I have only tried their PLA and PPG.
You should order yourself some PC Plus. For one, Newman or Nomon or whatever his name is. I keep calling him Norman because it looks like Norman, but it's Newman. I think he actually pronounced his name. Anyways, he's trying to promote it, so he's giving you half off your first order of the PC Plus. It ends up being like $22.
It's not bad. I ended up buying a spool of the kilogram spool of the Tallman 910 because it was $45 for a kilogram.
Yeah. Oh, but I'm actually liking that PC Plus. This whole printer's made in it. All the red parts are PC Plus.
Nice.
It's wicked. It's not standard PC. He did a chemical mix to it, so it prints really smoothly, and it's flat out 250 degrees. Don't fluctuate it. Put it on a 70-degree bed. Use glue stick. Done. And it sticks. It works. It's awesome.
Yeah, I need to get more. I've been trying to get this CF nylon to be a love of mine, but it's such a stiff material when it's printing that, I want it to work. I also have some. Do I have any PC down here? I think that's like the one material I bought a roll of, and then once I used it up, I use it up.
Yeah, it's a weird material. It's hard to print. It curls worse than ABS. That's what I like about that PC Plus. It still curls if you don't do it right, but
Yeah.
I put it on PEI with glue stick in it. Never had a problem.
Yeah, I might need to get more magnets on my bed.
Oh, why? Did it curl the actual bed up?
I've had, when I had PC, and I was like, I'm going to try this PC. This is back when I first started. I tried PC, and I put it on the Prusa bed. And ended up taking the magnets with it. It curled the bed. I was like, oh, this is neat.
So that should hold it, because I printed on that thing.
It held it, but the magnets didn't.
That's just the Wham Bam system I did it on.
Yeah, this was just pure PC from, I don't remember who I bought it from. Probably Amazon somewhere. Don't even know what reviews it had. I was just like, I can print PC.
Oh crap, I got another whole plate bed. I forgot I had this.
Oh, I've got too many of those. I got a drawer full of. I wanted to test them all and do a review of all of them, and they keep coming out with more. It's slow down.
Well, when Tim and what's his name were doing the whole war between the two of them, they both sent me the Wham Bam and TH3D's bed setup. So actually, this thing has TH3Ds on it, and that has Wham Bams on it, and I like them both. There's no, I see no advantage to one or the other all out.
The PEX material just really thick PI, so
it's
not
really
a special.
I kind of like it better. It works better. I don't know how to describe it. It seems to last longer, if that makes sense.
Well, normal PI when you buy it is a yellowish color.
Yeah,
and that's not pure PI. That's what they're clear white tint to it. That one is pure Ultim, and that's why it holds like it does. So pure Ultim is the best, but it's expensive. That's why it's so pricey. But that's the reason it grips and whatever. But it's so thick. That's also nice. So I liked it.
3D.
Yeah, it has to be if it's gonna not rip off the bed.
Yeah. Well, the two of them I found when they're the two. Speak, Tom. The two of them with their individual flex beds and plates and everything.
Yeah.
I found that are exactly the same thickness, so I don't have to adjust. If I go from one to the other, I don't have to adjust my Z height at all.
That's why I have a BL Touch. I don't have to adjust anything.
I just slap the bed on.
Why does it screw up?
No, you got to run that stupid auto bed leveling crap every time you first start to print. I don't have to deal with any of that.
I can just use my stored mesh and use that.
Yeah. Until you move the bed or you scrape it or
something like that.
That's the other thing I always didn't get is everyone's like, oh, it's so complicated and so time consuming to flatten your bed the way I do it. It's like, yeah, but it takes longer and more of a pain in the ass hooking up an ABL and doing the firmware and running the wires and mounting the thing.
I'm used to it
running it and then testing it. I can level my bed way faster than you can do all that crap.
True.
And I'll thankfully, never need to run an ABL test ever again.
That one right there, I'm happy now because I can switch plates and I never have to do anything. Besides, having an G29 command. So
no, I know, but
it's nice.
Doing it my way is not for the novice. That's for sure.
I have I had a CR10 and a CR10 Mini, and I bought an Ender 5, which is at the Makerspace. I bought it for them. So I like the manual bed leveling. I like the knobs and the stuff. I wish there was like a. I think you can do it in Marlin. I know you can do it in Duet, but you can basically make the bed flat. Like take a tool like on levels and level your bed, and then basically use like baby stepping to set the nozzle Z height. So you make a manual bed probe. Yeah, you do that, Marlin. That way, but then if you change the bed surface, you're screwed.
A bed mesh.
Yeah, and then you just change baby stepping, which
that was the one. You know what company used to do that all the time? It was the very first printer I ever owned.
Mendel.
Huh?
A Mendel.
No, an M3D.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how you level their beds. You go around and you touch it and you use the paper, but you don't adjust anything. You just go, okay, that's the right height, and you enter it, and you go around like 20 paces, and that little itty bitty freaking 4-inch bed, and that's how it mesh levels the bed. It never works. Dude,
I blame the German 3D printing nerd who said he wants to have some of our beds.
Yeah,
Trust me, you don't need that many. I don't even use half of them. I use the ones that are on there every time, unless I go, got to print, nylon or something. Guess I'm grabbing the Garolite.
That M3D I bought as a Christmas present to myself in December. I had 4 different printers and not one single print at the end of March. Thing never printed. Every one I got, dude, and I will give them credit. Every time, if I videotaped it and I showed them exactly what was going on, they freaking sent me a box from UPS, and I put it in the box, and they took it back, and they paid for it. I mean, they had to have lost money on that thing, because even though I paid $400 for that little piece of crap, they shipped it back to them 4 times and sent me a new one 4 times. Well, actually, they didn't send me a new one. The first 2 times they sent me a new one. The second 2 times they sent me a refurb, the same one refurbed.
Yeah.
Every time, dude, I'd turn it on. I'd go through their whole bed mesh leveling using their slicer at first. I would slice it. The thing would go out. It would do its whole grinding homer. I don't know if you ever saw one of those things try and home, but it homes by timing.
Oh boy.
It knows how long it takes to travel. So no matter where it is, it just travels until that amount of time. So if it's halfway across the bed, it don't care. It just sits there and goes until it knows it's home. I'm not kidding. It would lift it up. It would start to print. It would drop the nozzle into the freaking bed and melt right through the freaking bed.
It reminds me of my
it right down right through that whole bed.
Monoprice Mini Delta.
4 times.
Monoprice Mini Delta was my favorite doorstop / paperweight. It used the bed itself had the probe had like end stops underneath the bed, so when it clicked on the bed, it would click the button underneath the bed. This is weird. So you put the bed on top of the buttons. The Z end stops were buttons underneath the bed.
I've seen that.
And
That's
so
actually not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, but it had the loudest motors. It was designed as a hollow, delta. So when the motors ran inside the box, all it did was resonate out. So the whole thing is vibrating and making loud noises. And it had a firmware bugs. It was a Kickstarter project, so I kickstarted and I got it. And I was like, why doesn't this thing print? Like I had a Monoprice and a Mark II S. And this thing was just like, no matter what I did to it, it didn't print. And then when it did print, sometimes it would start printing, and then it would just stop printing and start grinding into the print. It had a bug where you'd finish a print, and the nozzle start going up no matter what the G code was. It would just start going up, and then it goes straight down into the print. I'm like, how is this? It kept wanting to kill itself. So eventually, my buddy's like, I had a buddy stop over, and he's like, why don't you use this printer? Because he saw all my printers. I have 14 down here, and he's like, how come this one just sits here in the corner and doesn't do anything? I'm like, you can have it. He goes, really? I said, yeah. He had a CR10 Mini. And he messages me like 2 days later. He goes, I know why you don't like this thing and don't ever use it. It keeps my wife awake at all times, and it wants to murder itself. I'm like, yeah. No matter, like they haven't updated it. Like it still has buggy firmware where it wants to kill itself. I'm like, why? Why does it want to kill itself? It shouldn't be a thing. It should live and make me prints.
Printers are
But I will say this: the little cat it prints, like the little test demo cat that was on the memory stick, prints perfect every time. Everything else killed itself.
Oh, I don't think you realize this thing has a very expensive, like multiple $100 custom made plate.
Oh yeah, from RCCNC, yeah.
Yep.
Good old Dare Barry.
I'm thinking when he offered to do it, I'm thinking, okay, it's a chunk of aluminum. He's going to put it on a CNC machine. It's going to cost, $20 tops.
Yeah.
He emailed me, he said, dude, that thing's like, more because of time investment than actual. Yeah. I mean, it is just like $1.50 worth of aluminum.
Yeah.
He's like, that would cost a couple $100 for me to make one off like that. Like, well, thanks very much.
CNC is all about volume.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Making 100 is a lot easier and less expensive than one.
Yeah.
Only because you set it up. If you do one thing, like one little thing on one piece of aluminum, you have to use that whole sheet of aluminum to cut the little piece out, and you had to program the router to do it.
It was out of a piece of scrap he had.
And that's good though. Like usually, like when I was like coding things to get CNC done, they're like, you do know that you want to print like 100 of these, right? And I go, why? He goes, well, if I make you one, it's going to cost you as much as you ordering 10.
Yeah.
Because I can cut 10 on one sheet.
If it's good, if you want me to make you 100, it's going to cost you $101.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, it wasn't that. It was like,
like,
it's $200 for one or $200 for 10. Like, pick your choice. So you want 10, but if you want like more than that, start scaling. But I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't want one at $200, and I only need one. Like, I don't need 10. Like, I don't care if it's the same price. I don't.
Yeah. It's definitely got some issues, but nothing he can't fix. Because I've been talking to him. It's a good setup.
Yeah.
That plate could be used on pretty much any printer, like an Ender. Anyone that uses a 2020 extrusion for the X.
Yeah.
So if he can whip out a bunch of them and get $10 a piece for him, it's a custom Hemera mount. I had a bunch of people going, well, you can print them out, but when the minute you print it, you're cantilevering that whole extruder, and now you're using a direct drive extruder with that big ass motor, and you're cantilevering it. It's going to start doing this on you as it moves.
Yeah,
that ain't going nowhere.
The Sidewinder I have mine mounted to has a metal plate on it, so I just mounted it to the metal ball. I use a printed adapter that prints the metal mount, which is.
Yep. No, I mean that's basically the same idea. You screwed it right to that aluminum plate, right?
Well, there's a spacer made out of a printed part, so that way it fits correctly. But yeah, still has a metal plate and a spacer.
Yeah, you're still spacing it out, and you're putting all that weight and cantilevering it on the wheels. And granted,
it is 2040 extrusion that it's on.
Huh?
It's 2040 extrusion on that.
Oh, that's true. That's the artillery, right?
Yeah, so it's a little. It's not really that much better. I mean, it's marginally probably better, but
well, it has less. Same amount of wiggle, but it's downgraded. It's geared down basically because of its width.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like. If I had the resources, I'd make a solid mount for it and redo it, but it kind of works printed. I'm used to printed extruders coming from Prusa, so they work. Are they optimal? No. They work well enough. Yes.
This thing's printing like a freaking dream right now.
See?
The only problem I got is I got to figure out how I'm going to load filament, because right now the little Capricorn tube is dragging across the lead screw.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You might have to do. There's a setup I've seen on the Bear that they had put like a little corner mount that goes on the top of the extrusion. So the Capricorn goes to the corner, and then you mount, like you just run the spool like you have it up to the top hole.
This one here feeds up over the top and then down.
Yeah.
I got a little bracket up there that holds the film and feeds it through.
I gotta figure it out on my artillery as well, because I just have the spool on top, which is not optimal on a 400 millimeter tall. Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's so great to have the spool holder on top. It's like when you have that big tall mast and then you have that mass of filament rolling and shaking on top of it.
If it was
is controlling the whole printer, and now you got the bed slinging back for it. You're just asking for vibration errors.
Well, what's nice is because I've upgraded, I put an SKR on there, 1.4. So I've got S-curve and junction deviation. It doesn't swing around as much, but on the stock board, with none of that enabled, the whole thing will just like flop. I'm like, and people were complaining that the prints turn out bad. I'm like, just take the spool off the top. Like,
You know, thinking of all that, I just remembered something I haven't put on this printer yet.
uh-oh.
Little T-brackets.
There we go. That will support it better.
Huh?
That will support it a lot better.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah, I've got those big 90-degree brackets on these. I'm working on a
I put
200
long screws in it.
Is it 300? Yeah, I'm working on a 300 millimeter tall bear. So it's got a custom motor coming in and better supports.
We were talking about that yesterday. I don't even remember who I was talking to it about. But we were all going, why are you taking a $1,000 Prusa printer that's supposed to be the best? I mean, I like Prusa printers. I don't have one, but I understand the whole concept of them and why they're expensive.
Yeah.
If I had $1,000 to blow, I would buy one in a heartbeat. But why are you taking this so-called high-quality printer and then slapping another $200 frame on it?
Yeah, see, the thing is,
And basically making it an ender.
yeah, well, somewhat. Like, the Ender frame is much sturdier than the Prusa frame. I don't want to sugarcoat it. Like, the 6 mil aluminum cut, it's nice, and that's what makes it at price. Like, you can't buy a Prusa for $850 in parts if you bought the same parts. Like, if you bought an actual E3D V6 hot end with the with the exact parts and the exact motors from the exact motor company, and the exact bed, it costs you more, and that's where the value comes in. So Prusa has, if you want a printer in the $800 range, like $700 to $900, there's no printer that competes with it in that range. Like, for the quality, like quality of parts and the components and the service and nothing.
Prusa, I don't care what anyone says. You're paying for Prusa back in it.
Yeah,
and he does generally. He does some stupid stuff, but
yeah, like the mini heat bed, like that was a dumb thing. But hey, whatever. We'll see what their blog says about that tomorrow. No, but I mean, there isn't a better, like, if you're a beginner, a Prusa is awesome because everything's automated. They have wizards and helplines and 100,000 users that can help you out. So it's like the Ender. The Ender has this huge amount of people that can help you, but why do we change it? And that's a really good question. So why do we need a better frame? Well, one is stuff I want to put on the frame. Like, I have this spool holder on the side. I can't attach a side spool holder on my Prusa. Like, it's either on top or it's some weird, like,
you could do it off the side of one of the. I never even understood, why does he split his bed frame extrusion? Why does he have one going halfway up the front off of that sheet metal, and then a small one going off the back, jogged out of shape?
I don't know. Again,
it makes no sense.
It well, maybe cost. I have no idea. Again, that's why I like this frame. Like, because now where I'm at and where the community is at is I can build this bear for less than I can buy a Prusa from Prusa for now.
Yeah.
With the right components. Like, I can for $800 or like $730 something, which is less than a Mark III.
Well, if you say bear, you're not using the board. You're using like an SKR.
I'm using SKR, which all these Prusas are now running SKR. All of my Prusas now have.
So you're not running any of the original.
Nope, I just printed new frame or new screen protectors. It doesn't say Prusa on it. So.
Who makes this board? I keep thinking Ultimaker.
Ulti Machine.
Ulti Machine, that's it. I knew it was close to Ultimaker.
Yeah,
which their board, I don't care. It's a nice board.
It is.
Quality.
It is the best quality 8-bit board you're going to buy. Like, the components are well made.
A good quality board.
Huh?
I burned up a couple of them already.
Yeah, and it's
On their defense, they replaced them.
They do.
I sent them a video, and I had one the next day from Amazon. They gave me an Amazon code, said order it, get overnight shipping, all on us. So I was like, done.
Yeah.
I just spit on myself.
And the Big Tree Tech, who makes the SKR boards, they have continually made the boards a little bit better every run. Like, little thicker PCB, little better components. They're not ulti-machine quality. Like, you're not going to get an INC Rambo quality component, and like some of the connectors might wiggle a little bit. The connectors on the INC don't really wiggle. Like, you can tell they do a good job. But it's like a Duet. It's really well manufactured board. It's just really expensive. Like,
There's stuff about the Duet I just don't like. I hate the power connectors. They're undersized for what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they put some tiny ones on there for some reason.
Towers.
Yeah, I prefer the INC where it's got takes the U clips and screw mounts.
Horseshoe connectors.
Yeah,
which is what I've been seriously considering getting the Big Tree Tech Pro board.
Yeah, which has those.
So they're replacing it with the GTR board.
Yeah.
The Pro board actually has those connectors on it.
Yeah,
which I like a lot better. And
I think everyone
Pro board. I don't want all the other features for it. I just want those power connectors.
Yeah, and you can swap them out. I mean, I could swap those connectors onto this board if I wanted to. I don't want to sit there and solder. I hate solder. I'm not good at it. That's why I don't like soldering. But
I've gotten better at it.
So if I knew someone who was really good at it that would willing to do it for a pretty decent rate, I would just buy a bunch of boards and then start reselling them with better connectors.
Yeah.
But that's not my thing. I have my
idea. Maybe I'll get better at soldering.
And then make your own little. Be like $50 per board. I'll do whatever you want.
That's kind of what my brother does. My brother, he works for a big company that I don't know. They're all like secretive about it, but basically, if you use a coin op, any coin op you've ever used, like the new credit cardy ones, came from his company. Whether they actually make it, they don't actually make a lot of them. They design them. They get hired. They design it, and then they send it off to China to get mass produced. He designs and builds the boards for testing and production.
Nice.
That's what he does.
I don't. I take pictures. That's my job.
Huh?
I said I take pictures. That's my job.
That's so funny because my niece just got married, and that's what she does. She does weddings, and her husband and you could be brothers. I mean, you don't look exactly alike, but I mean, same build, same shape, same long beard, same bald head, same attitude, very similar voice.
What's funny is like
there's got way more tattoos.
Yeah, I got my one. My one.
Like covered in them.
I got excited about the tattoo revolution back in the early 2000s. I was like, oh, cool, But then also in my town is very conservative, and getting tattoos all over your face and arms at the time when I was getting out of college was not the best in my hometown, because it's a very like blue collar, a very industrial manufacturing town. They're always like long sleeves if you've got tattoos, collar if you have a tattoo on your neck. God forbid you have a tattoo on your face. So my life choices directed me to like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to be a rebel. I'm gonna, any tattoos I have are under my clothes that I'd normally have to wear anyway. So I haven't got a leg tattoo because I'm always gonna have pants on. So yeah. But today, if I was born today, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'm gonna get a face tattoo because no one's gonna. Well, no, I wouldn't get a face tattoo. That'd be weird. I get a sleeve, but it's too late now. There's no point in putting a sleeve on this hairy ass arm. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't look exactly like you. There's definitely different features. But
that's a really good picture. Did she set that up on a little tripod to take it?
He could definitely be your family relative.
One of my best friends, John, he looks a lot like me, and we'll hang out. And my mom's like, did I have a second son that I didn't know I birthed? And I'm just like, well, he's a year older, and I know his mom, so I'm thinking that probably not.
Yeah, you never know. She could have adopted him.
Ooh, one Raz says just send the boards to him. He's a retired tech, so he can do all the board swap stuff. Oh, Old Curmudgeon's got his first bench he's set for 45 minutes. Yeah, it's about where I'm at. It's either between 50 to an hour and 5, I think, for most of the benchies I print.
No, I haven't done a benchy in so long.
I do them every once in a while, but I just print cubes. Like, they're all over my desk. Like, you'll see these cubes. Like, that's all I ever print. I'm like, okay, is that wall fine? Okay, good to go. Because I just want to know if the printer works. I'll look at a print and be like, okay, there's shit wrong with it. I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah, I have a hard time doing that. I start printing something functional, even if it fails. At least if it doesn't, it's usable piece.
Yeah, that's normally because like my test prints for PETG are always printing. Like, here's the yellow from Atomic. Like that is yellow.
That is, yeah.
And this was my first PETG. Like my first actual print on PETG is always like bare parts. Like because I'll use them or people like sometimes just give them away. Like here's a whole printer's worth of parts to someone on my Patreon or something.
Yep.
So it's there's no reason not to print something that you're going to use. Like I have enough of these all over the house. I just do this because I love supporting the guys who make it.
Seems like we've lost everybody.
I think so. Someone said buffering.
Really? Fine. I'm not having a problem.
Clock spring heart box? Yeah. Ooh, Sean's videos completely died for him.
Really? Oh, you know what? I may have gone over my monthly allowance on StreamYard.
Oh, that's right. They've got that.
20 hours, and I did a lot of live streaming in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, see, I have a premium. I can go as far as I want, but I don't like paying for it, but I do it anyway.
I can't afford to.
Yeah.
I have no money. Zero.
Start printing money. Get some of that green.
No, I mean, I used to have boatloads of money. I used to have more money than all my brothers put together. Now I have none, and they're paying me. I am healthcare provider for my parents. That's my whole job now.
Yeah, someone's got to do it.
I have no income. I have no money. My brothers send me money periodically just to make sure I can, like, here's my roll of film, and here's $50.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, man, it's a noble thing to do.
Yeah. About done with it.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Money. Just because I need my own damn money.
Yeah, they say that money doesn't bring happiness, but it sure does make it a lot easier. It's like I can get things that make me happy with some money, especially if there's just like extra income. Like, me that works his own business, it's like I can make enough to support myself, or I can work a little harder, do a couple extra shoots and be like, okay, I can go buy 20 rolls of filament and just go crazy one day. So.
Well, I think we've lost everyone, so we might as well kill it.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad it's working. That's all that matters. Like,
I don't know how good it is. I haven't looked at it finished yet, but from what I can tell, it looks fine. I'm sure I've got some fine tuning to do.
Yeah, just probably some firmware stuff and probably some setting stuff too, because
firmware's pretty good. I might have to do some. I got to PID tune it. I've never PID tuned the hot end, although it's not even fluctuating.
Yeah, if it's not jumping more than a degree, I usually don't. Like for me, I'm picky. I'll do it, but for most people, I'm like, is it moving more than a degree? They're like, no, it's always steady. I'm like, why mess with it?
Yeah, no, I always PID tune them.
Yeah, I do it on mine.
I do it in 3 or 4 spots because I'm always printing HTPLAs. So I'll do it at like 205, 215, and 225, 230. And that way I can pop in whichever one I'm going to run that filament at. I actually do it at 215 now and just leave it at that. And if I use one of the other ones, it's close enough.
For the printer in the hot box here, because I jump around a lot from like nylon to regular PETG to ABS, I jump around a lot on it. In the profile, I save its PID tune. So like when I pick my nylon profile, it picks my nylon PID.
Oh, you have it in the slicer.
Start G-code.
I've never actually done that, but that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, you can do it. Like there's like crazy stuff you can do in Start and then G-code that make your life so much better. Like even when you change beds, like I have baby stepping and Z, like if I know that there's a difference between the beds, like just the height, I just set the Z height and be like, okay, I'm using this bed, and it will set the proper Z height for me. It's dead, Jim. People are still messaging, but all right, I'll let you be then.
The stream is dead. Oh, it says 1 viewer, and that just went away. Now it's down to 0 viewers. It says.
Yeah.
So the stream must have gone dead. We're done anyways. I gotta let that print. I gotta go downstairs and pick up my mother. I've been up here 2 hours without checking on her.
2 hours and a half.
Yeah, that's not good. My mother needs help.
All right, get down there, man. Have a good one. Glad it worked.
Herself because she can't get to the bathroom.
Send a picture of the print. Hopefully it works.
I will do that. I will tweet it. I will.
All right.
Thanks.
Cona's down here. Yeah, no problem, man. See you, dude.
Later.